Today we are going to be talking about 3 little letters that every home buyer usually asks me about. It's an HOA. So if you're interested in this video, then just keep watching. Welcome back to the Georgia Customs YouTube channel. My name is Nicole Moore and I'm a realtor here in Savannah, Georgia with Keller Williams Coastal Area Partners. Today we're going to be covering what is an HOA and also some pros and cons of an HOA. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. A homeowners association is an organization that makes and enforces rules for multiple unit buildings like condos or townhomes or even planned communities that have single family homes. If you currently have a property with an HOA, you are automatically a member. If you're going to be purchasing a property with an HOA, you are going to become an automatic member. When you are a member, it basically means that you're going to abide by the rules and regulations of the HOA and pay fees known as HOA dues. Every HOA usually has its rules on some type of documentation. That documentation is usually called a declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions. You can usually get a hold of this document before you even purchase a property in a specific HOA community. I have had that happen for multiple clients of mine where they have a specific question that they need answered, and the only way that they're going to move forward with that purchase is if they can find out that answer about that HOA community. Some examples would be, are you allowed to build a garage behind your property? Are you allowed to extend your patio? If so, what are the protocols that the HOA would like you to follow in order to do those things? So those are just some examples. So let's get into some pros and cons of purchasing in an HOA community. So let's first talk about a pro. If an HOA organization is well ran, you can actually find that living in an HOA community can actually be a blessing because it could potentially increase your property value. How is it going to increase your property value? Well, if the community is looking a specific way, the lawns have to be taken care of a specific way, the mailboxes are straight, the houses look beautiful, the yards look beautiful, normally those communities, the property values increase. Normally those property values increase because they're maintaining a certain standard, a certain look. So the pro is that basically you're being protected as a community and you all fall within the same realm to maintain and sustain the standard of your community. If you're living in a community that doesn't have any rules and restrictions, you could have a crazy neighbor that doesn't mow their grass or has a whole bunch of cars, junk cars parked in their front yard, which can actually decrease the value of the community because that one neighbor decides not to take care of their property. So let's discuss a con of living in an HOA community. If that HOA community is poorly managed, then you can run into a nightmare basically. If they are not maintaining their reserves, which is where all the money of the HOA dues are going into to maintain and regulate the community, if they're running out and they're not able to continue maintenance or upgrades in the community, then they may turn to the members and ask for some special assessments, which are extra money that they're going to ask you to pay on top of your dues that you already owe. My recommendation is that when you are working with your realtor who will be able to provide and get you all this information about the HOA community, make sure you do your own due diligence as well, researching the community, seeing how people, if it's a neighborhood app or a Facebook page of the community, how are they responding to the HOA? How is the community functioning as a whole? Has there been any complaints? You can definitely usually look up all this information and see if there is a problem before you even purchase that property. So really quick, I wanted to cover another question that I get asked by clients all the time about HOAs, which is there usually some type of standard fee? And to answer that question, there is not a standard fee that every community follows. It really depends on the community that you're choosing to look into. I know HOA communities that are gated, have a pool community, a fitness center, a volleyball, sand court, all these extra amenities. They're able to mow the grass for the homeowners in the front, and the homeowners are just responsible for their backyard. And these HOAs can be a little bit more expensive than a community that doesn't mow people's front yards, or it's not gated. There's a whole bunch of different things that you have to look into with the type of amenities and what the HOA community basically offers. And the best way to find out is just to ask your realtor, what amenities are included in this community? What are the HOA dues? What do they cover? Can I see the covenants and restrictions? These are all things that you are definitely able to ask as a buyer. Well, since we're talking about HOA communities, you might be in the process of deciding, do I want to live in an HOA community or do I not want to live in an HOA community? But before you purchase a house, you're definitely going to want to check out this video right here.